Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time, but it's been a lot going on, and today I just want to do a story time, just a piece of the crazy that's been going on. And I would say, oh guys, I'm gonna start being consistent, but look, okay, let's keep it real, all right? That might be a little bit hard to do right now. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna put out content when I can and just no pressure. So if you are interested in hearing the story about how I had to move like 3 times in the last couple of months, then stay tuned. So I'm gonna touch on a couple things, right? So we're just gonna get to it. Let's be real about graduation, right? You know, I graduated college in 2017, stayed in the city I was living in, which was Ypsilanti, Michigan. I went to Eastern Michigan University, stayed there for about a year out, and I was miserable, okay? And we don't talk about this enough, how when folks graduate school, whether they have something lined up, but especially when they don't, just having that shift in life after being in school all of these years, and all of a sudden now it's like, oh, I'm an adult, I need to do adult things. It can be very stressful and depressing, especially if you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be. And at the end of the day, there's no rush, right? But in that moment, it doesn't feel like that. I ended up, my lease was, gonna be up, and this is back in 2018. So my lease was gonna be up. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna just have to move back to my parents, and I did not like that. I don't know about y'all, but for me, I was not trying to go home. Nothing against my parents or anything, but I just was not here for it. On top of that, I didn't have a room anymore, so I would be on the lovely couch and just feeling like I didn't know what to do next. So there's a lot of other things that happened within that time frame. We're gonna fast forward. March of 2019, a friend of mine hit me up. She said that her job was hiring in Detroit, Michigan. And so I was like, you know what, let's just try it. What's the worst that can happen? They'll just tell me no. I was going through a rough time at that time as well, but I still went and did it. Did the interview, got the job. Yes, we're good to go. I moved out to Detroit, stay with my friend for a few months until I can get my own place. It was very difficult. I finally find a place, okay, y'all? And this is where the bulk of the story comes, what you've been waiting for, right? I get there, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. I was waiting to get approved, whatever. Got approved, was gonna move the first week of July 2019. And it's like, I get in there, and I'm starting to get settled a little bit, not too focused on having to furnish and all that. I'm like, okay, that will come. So when I got in there, I had a bed, a lamp. No, I didn't even have a lamp at first. I had a bed and a rug. But I was happy because I was able to get something on my own. I actually found the bed for free from Facebook Marketplace, brand new bed. So yeah, don't sleep on Facebook Marketplace, but definitely be smart and be careful, because that's a whole nother story on how I had to get the bed by myself. I was in this apartment, going to work, happy because things were looking up. I wasn't a burden on someone anymore. And like literally had one of my friends over. She was cooking, and I was starting to cut my hair off. And she was like, I just heard a loud noise, like something being hit, and I'm like, well, what is going on? So I go and I look, I'm like, what's up, or whatever, and she was like, it was a roach. I killed it. I was gonna handle it. And I'm like, a roach? So I'm just like, all right, let's circle back. Like literally, I think that last week, I was cleaning up. I went downstairs to take some trash out, and the building monitor, I was talking to him, and I said, yo, does this building have roaches? Because before I came out to take the trash down, I seen a little cockroach crawling up the crevice of the first closet in the apartment. So I'm like, oh, heck nah, bro. Like, I can't. Like, so it hasn't even been, I've only been here a couple weeks, you know? And so he was like, you know what? Takes a drag from cigarette. Well, I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's been an issue. Yeah, I would just say get some bombs and then build them and let them know, like, I had to do y'all job. I'm not about to do all that. That is not my responsibility. I should have not even had to move into something like this. Like, obviously you guys didn't make me aware that there was cockroaches here, but what building would? So like later that night I go to bed. On the phone, it's probably like 2 or 3 in the morning, right? A roach, y'all, crawled on my arm. What? I must have went nuts, okay? Because, and then to know that a cockroach was that comfortable, like, nah, this is not even my house no more. This is y'all's. I'm sorry, I infringed upon your sanctuary. Like, maybe I should have never moved in, right? You know, this is y'all's home, okay? So I like got up really fast. It might have took me a good 30 minutes just to isolate the roach so I could get rid of it. I got it in a container and I literally threw the container with the roach out the window because I'm just like, I don't know what else to do. I went somewhere, I'm not gonna say where. Okay, I'll just tell y'all. I went to my job and it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. Nobody was awake, none of my friends were. So I went to my job, went into the office, half sleeped in the back for a second, and then the struggle. Because I wasn't gonna be able to get any sleep in that apartment because after getting that one, I seen another one in the bathroom. I'm like, oh, you guys are all coming out. Okay, I see what we're doing here. I ended up staying at friends, bouncing around friends' place. Maybe a week or so after that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to stay there again. In this time frame though, I have alerted my manager of the apartments. I've been taking pictures. I've been recording everything because I'm building a case. They're gonna let me out of my lease. So I stayed with some friends while I'm waiting to get a response about whether I can move out. And then I tried to stay there another couple of days. Like the first 2 days, it was okay. I had used like my lamp, and I think that's a myth, y'all, that they just scurry or they go away when it's light. No, like the things, they came back. The people kept trying to say that they were spraying my apartment, but I would come back to my apartment just to grab a few things, and it would be like, just, you could tell someone was in there, but you can't tell if they did anything. The guy kept disrespecting my home by like smoking cigarettes and leaving cigarettes in my toilet. It was just a whole hot mess. Side note, when I did realize that the roach thing was an issue, I did go through all my clothing, box it up in containers. I didn't even fully unpack here because, like I said, I just moved in. When I did move back in, just for those couple of nights, I was all right for like 2 nights, and the next day they just broke loose. Like, I went to try to take a shower, naked and vulnerable, okay? And I turn over and it's a huge one, like a mama or a dad or something, crawling all over the bathroom counter. And then I look and I'm like, oh no, like I called my friend me, like, I need to come over right now. And they're like, yeah, come on. So like I'm grabbing my stuff, I'm looking in the kitchen, they're crawling up the walls. I'm just like, why? I'm leaving the apartment, I see them in the hallways and the stairwells. It's just ridiculous. Like, this is an infestation. Fast forward to now, okay? I am clearly out of that situation, thank God. I was able to get an apartment through my job, which was amazing that there was even one available, and that I was just able to, they let me out my lease, because, you know, I gave them a whole breakdown, like, yeah, went through the whole lease, like, yeah, you guys are in breach of this and this and this, because what? No. Granted, like, there are individuals who maybe don't have that opportunity to get out of situations like that, but it just sucks that that's even a thing. I looked online with my manager, y'all, and this building in particular has always had issues. I missed that apparently, but they were gonna forcefully evict people just 2 years ago, because they could not upkeep the premises. There were roaches, there were bed bugs, there was no heat in the winter, and guess who the owner, The owner is down in Southern Florida living his best life, white man, while all these black folks and brown folks in Detroit are over here barely like living in unlivable conditions, you know? Like gentrification is real. Detroit is not an easy place to find sensible living. You have to go outside of Detroit if you're not going to pay a ton of money. So yeah, I'm grateful that I can get out of that situation, but something has got to change with way housing is set up in these cities. That is a story about how I had roaches for the first time. Cockroaches. When you're up in the Midwest, that's not a thing you see unless there is a issue within that home or that building, and that's when you see an infestation of those. Yeah, so I learned a lot. I did. Anyway, I have some other awesome things to drop on y'all, but in due time. Be on the lookout for whenever I post a video. And I think that's a wrap. I cut my hair. All right, y'all. Peace, love, and natural hair.